I see your profound sorrow. Would you care to share your story with a stranger? Dangerous young lady.
Transported to another world? Check. Suddenly surrounded by women? Double check. In these anime, the usual rules don't apply, and romance isn't just in the air, it's everywhere. Prepare your watch list. These are the Isekai Harem hybrids that'll transport you to places where anything is possible, and everyone loves you.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
I'm asserting dominance as your master.
Number 10. Loner Life in Another World. Being the last pick to anything usually means getting stuck with the worst option. Just ask Haruka. When his entire class is suddenly whisked away to another world, he watches as his classmates snatch up all the flashy powers and game-breaking abilities. Left with nothing but a loner skill that actively prevents him from forming parties, it seems the universe is determined to keep him isolated. But sometimes, what looks like a curse turns out to be a blessing in disguise. While his classmates rely on their cheat skills, Haruka begins forging his own path. Despite his loner skill, Haruka soon finds himself surrounded by a group of unique individuals, mostly girls, who are drawn to his genuine strength and ingenuity. His solitary journey becomes an unexpected adventure filled with new friendships, alliances, and maybe even budding romances. Armed with his wits, hard-earned skills, and the determination to prove that true strength doesn't come from handouts, he sets out to save the very people who left him behind. After all, who needs cheat codes when you can write your own rulebook, and perhaps gather a few companions along the way? Number 9. Tales of Wedding Rings.
Nothing makes sense! But you gotta do what you gotta do!
Childhood promises have a way of shaping destinies, but Sato never imagined his would lead to becoming a magical king through marriage. 10 years after meeting a mysterious girl who made him promise to forget her, he finally remembers, just in time to crash through a dimensional portal and interrupt her royal wedding. The timing proves oddly perfect when an abyss monster attacks the ceremony. In a split-second decision, Hime chooses to marry Sato instead, gifting him with light-based powers through their wedding rings. Just like that, the ordinary Japanese student becomes the Ring King, thrust into a role he never expected in a world he barely understands. But one magical marriage isn't enough to save the realm.
What's with this wind?
To stand against the threatening Abyss King, Sato must form alliances and marriages with 4 other princesses, each union granting him new powers. His harem of brides becomes both his strength and his challenge as he navigates the complexities of love and duty. What started as a desperate dash to reunite with his childhood friend transforms into an epic quest where matters of the heart intertwine with the fate of multiple kingdoms. For Sato, Till Death Do Us Part takes on an entirely new meaning as he balances his growing relationships with the looming threat of worldwide destruction. Number 8. No Longer Allowed in Another World. Death was supposed to be dramatic, a carefully planned double suicide with his beloved Sachan. Instead, Sensei finds himself unceremoniously trucked into another world, where a cheerful priestess immediately tries to saddle him with the most cliché quest imaginable, defeating a demon king.
One of those destined to bring light to our world.
But this jaded writer has no interest in playing the hero. He just wants to find Sachan, assuming she's somewhere in this fantasy realm. Fate has other plans though. A chance encounter with Tama, a skilled martial artist he saves without meaning to, earns him an unexpected bodyguard.
Hey, Sensei, what do you bring us out here for? And how soon can we leave?
At Annette, the persistent priestess fascinated by his decidedly unheroic approach to life, and suddenly the solitary writer has an entourage he never asked for. As they traverse this monster-filled world, Sensei begins to notice something darker beneath the surface of this supposedly simple fantasy setting. The real monsters aren't the creatures lurking in the wilderness, they're the humans wielding power and influence. Armed with a writer's keen insight into human nature and accompanied by his unwanted but loyal companions, Sensei finds himself reluctantly drawn into a conflict far more complex than any Demon King could provide. Number 7. Isekai Onsen Paradise. In a world of swords and sorcery, most reincarnated heroes dream of slaying dragons or mastering magic, but Kozo Yukawa, he just wants to find the perfect bath. After a fatal mishap during his latest hot spring hunt on Earth, this dedicated onsen enthusiast finds himself reborn in a fantasy world, with his nose for natural springs intact. Blessed by an Inari deity who shares his enthusiasm for thermal waters, Kozo wastes no time putting his unique talents to use.
で、君誰?
With Mayudama, a fox-beard princess, as his companion, he sets out to discover this new world's hidden bathing treasures. His passion for hot springs draws in various companions, each with their own reason for joining him, turning his quest into a delightful harem adventure. Just as he's settling into his first magical bath, an elf's unexpected appearance signals the beginning of something bigger. What starts out as one man's quest to map out the perfect bath spots evolves into an adventure where diplomacy, relaxation, and cultural exchange all happen in the steamy comfort of newly discovered hot springs. After all, nothing breaks down barriers between species quite like a good soak.
あゆだまさんにも言った通り、美人湯というやつだ。
他には?
Number 6. Tying the knot with an Amagami sister.
The gods can't save you. No one else can give you what you want. You have to do it yourself.
Life has a strange sense of humor. Uryu Kamihate, a devoted man of science and medicine, finds a home at a Shinto shrine. Fresh from the orphanage and determined to become a doctor, he's thrust into a world of gods and traditions he doesn't believe in, complete with 3 shrine maiden sisters who turn his logical world upside down. Yai, the eldest, approaches him with childlike wonder. Asahi, the youngest, delights in challenging his worldview. And then there's Yuna, whose fierce defense of faith clashes spectacularly with his steadfast atheism. Such as Uryu starts finding his footing in the spiritual household, Asahi uncovers the painful past that shaped his disbelief. But the real bombshell drops when grandfather Chidori announces the price of Uryu's sanctuary, marriage to one of his granddaughters in succession of the shrine. Suddenly, the young man who doesn't believe in divine intervention must navigate not just matters of faith, but matters of the heart. Between ancient traditions and modern ambitions, Uryu discovers that some of life's most important questions doesn't have scientific answers. Torn between the 3 sisters, he must choose not only his future profession, but also his future partner. Number 5. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Yogiri Takato is a laid-back high school student, the kind who might go unnoticed in a crowd, until his hidden power kicks in. During what should have been a typical school trip, he's whisked away with his classmates to another world by the mysterious sage, Sion. Most of the students receive gifts, powerful abilities meant to help them thrive in this strange new land. But Yogiri, he's left out, along with a few others, and soon finds himself abandoned as his now powerful classmates set off on their own paths. When he finally stirs from his sleep, he's met with chaos, a dragon rampaging near the bus. His companion Tomochika Danoura, another student left without a gift, looks on in horror as the beast threatens their lives. Without a hint of panic, Yogiri unleashes his own natural ability, the power to cause instant death to anything or anyone. With a mere thought, the dragon drops lifeless. As Yogiri and Tomochika journey to find a way back to Earth, they attract a motley crew of allies, some curious, some cautious, who are drawn to his mysterious power. Together, they navigate a world that vastly underestimates them, forming unexpected bonds along the way.
You can half die.
Number 4, studio apartment, good lighting, angel included.
おいしい。
よかったです。たくさん食べてくださいね。はい。
Shintaro Tokumitsu's life is as typical as it gets for a high school student living alone in a cozy, if cramped, studio apartment. That is, until one morning he steps onto his balcony and finds an unexpected visitor, an angel. Toa, as she introduces herself, has been sent from heaven to learn more about humanity. As Toa settles into his small space, Shintaro reluctantly agrees to let her stay, realizing he's now sharing his apartment with a celestial being. Privacy becomes a distant memory, and his once quiet sanctuary is filled with Toa's endless questions and excitement over the simplest things.
私、必ず慎太郎様を幸せにします。
Keeping her true nature a secret is no small feat, especially with nosy neighbors and curious classmates. To complicate matters, other girls start to notice the changes in Shintaro's life. His newfound attention doesn't go unnoticed, and juggling these encounters with Toa's angelic innocence adds to his chaos. As he navigates his feelings and the complexities of living with an angel, Shintaro finds himself at the center of a heavenly harem. Between Toa's celestial charm and the interest of his classmates, his ordinary life becomes anything but.
なんか全然普通じゃなくなってきたかもしれない。
Number 3, Remonster. Hunger is the first thing Goburo feels when he opens his eyes in his new life. Once, he was Tomokui Kanata, a human with strength and skill, but now he's a goblin, the weakest creature in a brutal world where only the strong survive. Yet Goburo is no ordinary goblin.
When I woke up, I noticed Gobme had climbed into my bed on the opposite side. My arms were aching for quite a while from the weight of both of them.
Remembering everything from his previous life, he discovers a rare gift. With every creature he consumes, he gains strength, skills, and attributes. Driven by hunger and the instinct to survive, he harnesses this ability, evolving with each creature he devours.
Wait! It's Gobro!
Yeah, I'm back.
As he climbs the ranks of Goblin society, he gathers allies and subordinates, including several female companions who recognize his strength and are eager to follow him. Together, they navigate a world full of danger and opportunity, facing rival creatures and forming unlikely alliances. With every victory, Goburo's influence expands and his ambition grows beyond just survival. He begins to challenge the very nature of Goblin existence, carving out a new path where he and his comrades, including his growing harem, can rise above their limitations.
You will have all your hidden archers lower their bows immediately.
Number 2, Chained Soldier. Yuki Wakura is just another high schooler on the verge of graduation, anxious about a future that seems all too ordinary. But everything changes when he's pulled into Mato, a dark dimension crawling with monstrous creatures known as Shuki. Facing certain doom, he's saved by Kyoka Uzen, the captain of the Demon Defense Force 7th Unit. The defense force is made up entirely of women blessed by peaches, mystical fruits that grant supernatural abilities, but only to women. Kyoka's unique ability, Slave, allows her to control another being, but she hasn't found a suitable partner, until Yuki. Desperate, Kyoka uses her slave ability on Yuki, transforming him into a powerful asset. Realizing his potential, she recruits him as her personal chain partner. As they battle the Shuki, Yuki becomes surrounded by other female officers, each with their own abilities and personalities. Together, they face monstrous threats, and Yuki navigates his new role amidst a squad of powerful women. His ordinary life becomes extraordinary as he finds himself at the center of both epic battles and complex relationships. Number 1, 2.5-Dimensional Seduction. After a painful rejection, Masamune Okumura retreats into the world of anime and manga, finding solace in his favorite fictional heroine, Lilial. As president of the Manga Research Club, he spends his days immersed in fantasy, far from the complexities of real relationships.
そうだ知っちゃダメだ
At the start of the new school year, Masamune's quiet life takes a turn when he meets Ririsa Amano, an energetic first-year student with a passion for cosplay. Enchanted by Liliel just as he is, Ririsa wants Masamune to be her personal photographer for a cosplay project dedicated to their mutual favorite character. Reluctant at first, he soon finds himself swept up in Ririsa's enthusiasm. Just as Masamune starts getting comfortable, his childhood friend Mikari Tachibana re-enters his life. Now a model, Mikari decides to join the manga research club and steps into the world of cosplay herself, hoping to catch his eye. Between Ririsa's vibrant energy and Mikari's determined efforts, Masamune finds himself in the middle of a real-life harem. As fantasy and reality blur, he must navigate his feelings and decide whether to stay lost in his two-dimensional world or embrace the possibilities right in front of him.